Creating Your Brand Website Part 2. In this lesson we're going to be adding content to the site we built and also looking at some other options, including connecting our domain name to our Wix website. You are now going to continue building your Wix site and you will be adding content. Then you will learn how to tie your domain to your Wix site so that when you're ready to do so, it will be a straightforward process for you. Okay, so continuing from where we left off, we're back at our site. Now, before we get to actually adding content, I don't particularly like the way the home page is looking. So if you want to change the layout of the home page, you just need to click inside the content on the home page and then click on settings. Then we can go to layout and you can see we've got some different options here. For instance, we could select magazine and you can see it changes the articles to be a big picture with a little title, and basically they would click on it to go and read the article. So that's instead of having a snippet. And we've got side by side, which shows an image with a snippet of the article, and again they would click on it to go and read the rest of the article. We started with the default, which was brick. So look at postcard. Again, it's similar to one we've already seen, and there's one column which makes everything a lot bigger, and it really boils down to your personal preference. We've also got editorial, which is a small picture, small title, and we've also got tiled, which again is very similar to brick. I'm not quite sure what the difference is. But if we go back to the brick, there's the difference. It's actually got 3 columns. I don't like it. I think it's too congested for a home page. And for the home page, I actually liked the side by side personally. So I'm going to select that. And all I need to do is click on the cross. So we've got a new layout. Now, the content we've got on here, you can see the 6 posts, is all default posts that were created by Wix for this template. So we obviously need to replace them. And we also need to know how to create a new post. So you can double click on the title, but you can also go to the My Blog and click on it. And then click on Manage Posts. And it's actually going to open up all the posts on your site. So our top article so far is Cooking with Kids. And we click on Edit. And we could then just replace this with our own article. Alternatively, we could just create new posts and delete these ones. So if we go to blog again and click on create a post. Now, as this is the first post I'm creating myself, it's going to give you hints. But just like we did with Facebook, we can go and find other content that we can use. However, because we're not sharing it, we also must add a link back to the original post if we're going to copy it. So I've gone back to mountain bike articles search in Google. I'm going to click on this first one because it's claiming it's got the 10 most popular mountain bike articles of 2017. So we look at the first one. I'm just going to find one that I like the look of. And I kind of like this one. It's okay that you're slow, because if I went mountain biking, I would definitely be slow. So I'm going to click on the title. And then we're going to copy the title, go back to our site and paste it in. Okay, and then for the actual article itself, you can see your great post begins here. Add images and videos to bring your post to life and hashtags. So I'm going to click in here and then we're going to go and get the content. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to copy this image, use save image as, and then I'm just going to call it MB1 to remind me where it is. Then I've jumped back here and we've put the mouse cursor inside the box. So all I need to do now is click on the add an image icon, which is underneath. It looks like a camera. Now you can use the social images, you can use free from Wix, or you can drag and drop them in here, and you can also upload. I'm just going to click on the upload images, and I've double clicked on the image I found, and then I'm going to click done, and then I'm going to click apply. And there you go, it's added our image. Now it's saying we can add caption 2 if we want, and it's up to you if you want to do that. I'm going to skip that. But now we're going to add the text. So I'm going to click underneath, I'm going to go back to the article, and then I'm going to copy all the text. Now I'm not going to copy it all, but you can see there's another image and some more text. But for the sake of this example, I'm just showing you how to do it. So I would then post it in. Now if the formatting looks wrong, then go in and change it. What you don't want is you don't want a huge piece of text that flows into each other. You want to have white space in between. Otherwise, people will just not want to read it. Then once you've added your text, there's one more thing you need to add. And that is, this article was first published on, then you go back to the site, you grab the URL of the post, you go back and you paste it in. So we're giving credit to the place we got the content from. Once you've got all that, you just click on publish and you can see we've got a new article. So if I close down the blog, you can see we've got our new article. Now at this point, I'm actually going to click on save. Now because I had already saved, it's telling me that the changes were already saved. But you can see here it's outdoorsquared.wixsite.com instead of it being the original username I had. Now you can click on edit and you can change the My Site if you wish. I'm just going to change it to outdoors. It's not particularly critical because once we connect our domain, this URL will no longer matter. But I'm going to click on the tick and then click done. So we've now saved our site and we're on our way. But let's go preview it. Click on preview, and then if I click on this link, you see it opens a new article page that contains that article, and it also has recent posts underneath. So essentially that's all you need to do. If I go back to the editor, you'd want to add at least 4 or 5 articles right at the start when you build this site. Now if your brand is in a niche you're particularly familiar with, then by all means write your own content. If not, go and find some, but always attribute it to the original post. It's very important. But you want to get rid of all the default articles that came with the site. Now, I'm not going to do that right now. So you want to continue adding content to your site. Now, I have not made any effort to make this look pretty at all. As you can see, my background image is way too big. You can fix that quite easily. I haven't added any pages. By all means, go and add pages. I haven't really played with the colors. I can probably get those better. And also the footer. I haven't done a very good job of the footer either. But it's just showing you how you can do stuff. And remember, if we go back to our account page, you can get support. You can get information on doing anything on your site. So whether it's adding a page or anything else, you can do it right there. Now, the last step we're going to do is we're actually going to connect our domain. However, if you haven't purchased your domain, I'm going to quickly show you where I get my domains from. And it's a site called Namecheap.com. Now, you can use GoDaddy if you want. However, do not buy domains through Wix. It might seem cheap the first year, but then the prices will go up quite significantly. You want to use pure domain registrar like Namecheap or GoDaddy. I've already registered my domain on Namecheap, but for instance, let's say I wanted Outdoor Squared USA. I would just type it into the search here and click on search, and it's going to go and pull the available domains. And we're always after .com. You can see here it's available. All you would do then is click on add to cart, view cart, and confirm order. Now I'm not going to go through and do this because I don't need OutdoorSquaredUSA.com, but I am going to be using Namecheap to show you how to tie your domain. But the principle remains the same, whatever registrar you've used. So the next thing I'm going to do before I connect my domain is I'm going to publish my site. So I'm going to click on publish, and you can see here it's telling me the Wix URL, and you can go and view it if you want. However, just before I click done, you can see this message, connect to your own branded domain. Upgrade now. We are going to do that, but for now I'm just going to click on done. And I've pasted in the URL, and there's our site. And while it's not the most beautiful site in history, you can see it's a pretty decent website with content on it that we can use until we're ready to build something more significant. And you're not going to need to do that for 6 months or more. This is all you're going to need to get your first product up and launched and to assist with ranking. Okay, so I'm back on my account settings page. And we're just going to take a quick look at subscriptions. So I'll put my mouse cursor over. I'm going to click on premium plans. Now you can see all the different things they offer. What I recommend is you go for the $11 one, and you can even go to the $14 one. It's got a few extra options. However, I just want to reinforce that you can stick with your Wix domain for now and upgrade later if you wish, and especially if funds are short. We are going to be promoting our website, but the good thing is that even if we use the Wix URL that we get for free, when we upgrade and add our domain, they will redirect the Wix domain to our domain. But I'm going to put my mouse cursor over subscriptions again, and I'm going to click on domains. You can see here, buy a new domain name. We don't want to do that. Remember, when you buy your domain name, do not buy it through Wix. And I'm going to click on the connect a domain you already own. Now you can see it's asking you to upgrade. So I'm going to click on select a plan, and I'm going to choose the $11 option. Now you can see they've got different prices. And in fact, if I just want to pay monthly, it's $14.50, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to pay for a year, even though I get it $3 a month cheaper. So I've clicked on monthly subscription, and I'm going to click select. So I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to fill in my credit card details and my address, and then I'm going to click on submit purchase, and then I'll come back. Okay, so they've accepted my payment, and they're still trying to get us to search for a domain. But all we want to do is right at the bottom here in the really small letters where it says already have a domain, just click on connect it. Then they're asking you for the domain name, so you just want to type that in without the HTTP. So I've typed in outdoorsquared.com. I'm going to click next. And now it's asking us to log into our domain provider, go to the DNS or name server settings, and update them using the settings right here. You can see it's found my name servers, but we want to change it to these. So I'm going to copy the first one, and then I'm going to go and log into Namecheap, and the domain is right here. Now, if you've gone through a different provider, essentially it's the same thing. You want to find the domain and click on a button to manage it or edit it or something on those lines. So I'm going to click on manage, and then what I'm looking for is name servers. You can see here this option. So I'm going to click in the drop down box and click on custom DNS, and then for name server 1 I'm going to paste in the first one and the second one, and once I've pasted them in I'm going to click on tick. Now you can see it's telling you the DNS may take up to 48 hours to take effect. Now it's normally quicker than that, but what they're saying is that these changes might not be applied straight away, so it means that our domain will not redirect straight away. But we've updated our DNS, so we go back to Wix and then click on verify connection. Now the odds are it's going to give us an error message, but it's nothing to worry about because it normally takes 48 hours. And as we expect, it's saying we need more time to verify your domain connection. So I'm just going to click on go to my domains, but basically we're done. And that's pretty much it. Now do spend more time doing this. You know, I pretty much rushed through everything. I didn't really take any time to make it look any nicer than it does, but you should spend more time. However, if time is a real priority for you, then you can get this done for you. And we're going to go to our old favorite Fiverr.com. So here we are back at Fiverr.com. Now, something to point out, you are not going to be able to get a Wix site created for $5 or $10. It's going to cost a lot more. Most of these gigs will be around $100 or more, and you'll pay more for the guys with the most feedback. So it is purely a case of measuring your time to create the Wix site yourself versus the cost of getting someone else to do it. Now, I am showing you how to search for these people, but I do recommend you build the Wix site yourself, especially as at this point, you're probably just waiting for your inventory to arrive at Amazon, or possibly even waiting for samples to decide on your final supplier. But I've used the search Wix, W-I-X. It's brought up all these results. I'm actually going to search by best selling. And this first one's I will design and redesign a Wix website. Now it's saying $20, which seems a bit low for me, but let's have a look. I'm going to open it in a new tab, and you'll see here, I'll design or redesign homepage or a small bug fix for your website. So in other words, it's pretty basic. It's not going to be what we want. So this next one's $5. This next one's $800, which is obviously excessive. This next one's I will build advanced functionality with Wix. It's quite interesting. Let's have a look. I've got a funny feeling he's talking about add-ons and not actually building a site. And as I thought, it's not building a website. This one's saying I will do Wix web design for small business. It's got 40 reviews and they're all at 5 stars. So let's see what he's got. It's saying $25 as a starting point. So set up everything you need for your basic website, up to 5 pages, free guide on how to use it. That seems pretty reasonable. What do you get for the extra $20? Up to 15 pages. Appointment RSVP, be your assistant to manage your site 15 days. So he's actually going to manage your site for 15 days. This one looks quite interesting. I'd probably want to contact him for more info, but it would be a possibility. And you can see he's actually got 61 reviews at 5 stars, so it looks like he does a pretty good job. That's a really good price, either the 25 or the 45. I will build an add-on, that's not where I will design your website. I will design your Wix website, $375. I will design, redesign, or migrate. That's not what we're looking for. I will design and redesign website. He's got 140 at 5 stars. Let's take a look at this one. So basically for $50 he's just going to do the home page. For $100 he'll do 4 extra pages. So again, it's not too expensive, and he's got 149 reviews at 5 stars, so he's pretty good. So go through these, see if there's any that you like the look of, and then just make a decision on whether you think you haven't got enough time to do this yourself and whether you can afford to pay someone to do it for you. So what have we covered in the past 2 lessons? We've covered how to create your brand website using Wix.com, and also how to add content, and finally how to connect your domain name to the Wix site. Next, you will discover how to create your brand YouTube channel, and it's a lot easier than building a website. Your action step: build your brand website. But that's it for this lesson. Take care.